Good afternoon. I'm not sure what the protocol for this is, so I'm just going to record. I thought it would make a lot of sense to record in my natural environment, which is typically in the woods, because it's where I spend a lot of my time. And for my TED Talk, I want to explore an idea that I've been ruminating on for a few years now, ever since I have dove face first into branding and helping other clients with their messaging. And I first came upon the idea really when I started to reflect on my own life and try to understand what it was that I ultimately wanted to do with my life. I've always had this capacity to help other people, and based upon maybe my childhood psychology, the need to serve other people, possibly even to feel validated in my own unique way. But nonetheless, I've always had this gift to help other people see their power. I'm very intuitive by nature. Some have said I'm a bit empathic. But anyhow, I've used those gifts in my photography, in my videography, and now my branding to tell other people's story. And what I found really early on in working with people is that people didn't really ever take the time to know their story. They were just sort of like me, marching blindly on a treadmill of life, doing what maybe someone else told them to do, or doing what they thought they were supposed to do. And maybe they found their quote unquote purpose. But what I noticed is that purpose often shifted. I know mine did many times. And when I started to really analyze why I couldn't get clarity and why other people couldn't find clarity on their true purpose, it centered around the idea that they didn't know their story, where they came from, who they were, what they truly believed in. And I don't want to go all Socratean here, but if you don't know who you are or how you got where you are, or if you don't know your story, how can you be expected to understand your North Star, your purpose? Because your story is your values, it's your beliefs, it's your philosophies, it's literally everything that you live by. It's the narrative that has established your life thus far. And in the process of understanding who you are, you start to create a snapshot of how you show up in the world. And how you show up in the world is equally reflective of how people receive you. So if you're here to do something and you have a skewed story of who you are that's currently driving your narrative, then the reflection you're giving off may not be as optimal as you would want it to be. So in going backwards, reverse engineering it, if you will, and understanding your story, you start to paint a canvas, a fabric of all the subtleties and the nuances and the history and the lessons and the behaviors and all the things that make up who you are. And then you can take a look at those analytically, pragmatically, intuitively, and build a blueprint from where you are to where you want to be, which ultimately becomes your purpose, because now you've defined your plot. You've understood all of the things that make you who you are, and now you have something to stand on. You have a foundation. You have a core message of who you are as a human and how you want to show up in the world, how other people receive you, and how you want to be received. And so that's the work I'm doing. It's called the Becoming You Blueprint. And I am teaching other humans how to better understand their story. And in the process of knowing who you are, you can be more equipped to fully step into who you want to become. So that's it. I hope I get the opportunity to share this with you. I think it's a really powerful concept. I know that it has done wonders for my life, and I believe that it can impact other people's lives, and I look forward to sharing that with them.